HCAM TV presents girls varsity basketball. Tonight, the Hillers take on the first place Westwood Wolverines. Hi, I'm Tim Hladek here with Tom Nappy. And Tom, tonight Hopkinton will be looking to give Westwood their first TVL loss. And we'll talk about that more after we hand it off to the public address announcer.
The highest ideals of sportsmanship and establishing a healthy environment for interscholastic competition. The league will not tolerate negative statements or actions directed toward competitors, game officials, or fans in attendance. Such actions include taunting, trash-talking, and the berating of players or officials. The Tri-Valley League has adopted a zero-tolerance policy. Warnings will not be issued. Offenders will be ejected. Please respect all decisions made by officials. Please respect fans, coaches, participants, and opponents alike. And now the lineups for this evening's game. For the Westwood Wolverines, at guard, number 3, junior Carly Shugru. At guard, number 4, junior Allison Morin. At guard, number 15, junior Christina Bonfiglio. At forward, number 33, senior captain Andrea Meinke. And at guard, number 40, senior captain Caitlin Harrington. Coaches for the Wolverines, Catherine Clifford, David Hiltz, and Emily Dixon. And now for your hometown Hopkinton Hillers. At guard, number 11, junior Julia Canestrari. At guard, number 12, junior captain Emma Lakasha. At guard, number 23, freshman Lillian Morningstar. At forward, number 31, junior captain Michaela Pucci. At forward, number 44, sophomore Ivy Gogolin. Managers Grace Nealon, Hallie Keefe. Coaches for the Hillers are Mike Greco, Kerry Chatton, and Kristen Baldiga. Would you all please rise for our national anthem?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Coming into this game, Hopkinton has a 15-5 record, 12-5 in the TVL. They have won 4 in a row, including sweeping the Westboro Invitational Tournament. And during that tournament, they finally got a win over arch rival Medway, who they had lost to 2 times before. They won that game 72-63. But this game, an altogether different beast, and the undefeated in the TVL Westwood Wolverines.
Well, Hopkinton's been on a roll lately, and they've been playing some great basketball, and they're heating up at the right time. We're getting very close to the postseason, last regular season game. Postseason starts next week. This is the time to get hot, and that's what the Hillers have been doing.
And just a few moments left until tip-off. Ball is up, tipped, and controlled by Westwood. Actually a quick turnover. Kaylin Harrington caught the ball and walked out of bounds with it. Quick turnover for the Wolverines. Lakashia taking over as point guard for the Hillers. Cross-court pass to Pucci. Pucci drives baseline, throws it up off the backboard. First 2 points of the game. Junior captain Michaela Pucci.
Now keep in mind, in this game, there's a big chance that Westwood has that #1 seed with that 19-2 record, but they also could be playing for it depending on how the division lines up.
Shot fired just inside the free throw line. Miss, rebounded by Canistrari. Pucci tries to fire it up to Gogolin, tipped out of bounds by Andrea Meinke. Still Hopkinton ball.
And Westwood also added a couple players for this game off the JV squad, Caroline Bean and Alex Finn. And it looks like we just have a scoreboard correction here.
And play resumes. Morningstar looking to get the ball in. She does find Canistrari. The quick shot, nothing but net for Canistrari. Quick 4-0 lead for the Hillers.
That's what the Hillers want to do. Get off to a quick start here. This Westwood team, they have a lot of offense, a lot of great shooters, so get off to that quick start. Get momentum in your favor early.
Nice drive from Carly Chagru. Met with little resistance. Takes that up and in for the 2-point shot. Westwood in a zone to start things off. Ball gets inside to Gogolin. Pivots and puts it up. Misses. Rebounded by Andrea Meinke. Forcing the issue. Driving and losing the ball is Christina Bonfiglio. Westwood recovers and then turns it right over. Acacia barking out orders. Gets the ball right back. Pucci with it. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. She's stuck and draws a foul down in the paint.
Good ball distribution in the low post by the Hillers to draw up that foul.
Again, Morningstar looking to get this ball in. Struggling. Avoids a 5-second call. Gets it into Pucci, who's immediately wrapped up by Christina Bonfiglio. Remains Hiller ball.
Westwood is a very aggressive team. They're not afraid to foul or make contact with you to try to rip the ball out of your arms, and that's why they get called quite a bit. Take advantage of that. See if you can get them into trouble early and get to the free throw line.
Case in point right there, Allison Morin lunging after that ball. No foul called on that particular play. Acacia hands it off. Pucci driving, gets the shot up and in. Michaela Pucci, her third and fourth points of the game. Now 6-2 lead for Hopkinton with 5:45 left in the first.
It's very possible this game has playoff implications for the Hillers. Talking to Coach Greco before the game, he mentioned a lot will depend on what happens with Ashland and Medway in their last game of the season.
3-point shot from Morin, no good. Rebounded by Westwood. Second chance opportunity, no good, and then a foul called down low on Andrea Meinke.
That's already the third Westwood foul in this game. It's a good sign.
Again, Lacacia setting things up for the Hillers. Nice bounce pass to Canistrari. Canistrari tried to find Pucci. Eventually Pucci recovers, misses the shot. Now here comes Bonfiglio for Westwood. Draws the contact, no foul called, and loses the ball out of bounds. Another turnover for Westwood.
Westwood playing pretty sloppy early on. It's a little bit uncharacteristic of them.
Westwood has switched from man to zone on a few possessions already. It's tough for the Hillers to know what they're going to be facing each time down the floor. Ball tipped out of bounds. Hopkinton still retains possession. Again, Morningstar having trouble getting it in, and there's a 5-second violation. Westwood doing a great job of cutting off the passes on these inbound plays.
Well, the man-to-man transition appears to be working for Westwood.
And Regan Keaveney, as well as Callie Corby, subbed into the game for the first time. Hopkinton doubling the ball, almost forced a turnover. Nice play from Morin to keep it, and then the ball is thrown out of bounds. Again, another turnover for the Wolverines.
Well, perhaps just a slow start for the Wolverines tonight.
Not what you expect, not what you typically expect from a team that is 15-0 in the TVL, that's for sure.
Yeah, but there's so many great teams that are sloppy in the first quarter but improve as the game goes on. And I haven't seen this Westwood team yet, but this could be the case.
I'm not ready to count them out just yet.
Absolutely.
Three-point shot fired from Kaylin Harrington. Misses it, saved by Carly Shagru.
That was a great save. And
A nice behind-the-back dribble from Morin. Got her defender off her feet, and then the three from Shagru. Great play from Morin to shake off her defender and then find her open teammate. Carlson fires a quick three for Hopkinton. And now Morin's on the run again. Looking to take this whole way. She does and draws the foul. Her aggression is rewarded there. She draws 2 free throws.
Well, here they come. They're starting to show signs of why they're 19-2 overall, and that was just a great play by Shagru earlier. And she was aware in the general vicinity where Morin was and swatted that ball close enough to her where she was able to get to it, and they got 3 points out of it.
Morin's first free throw rims out. Second free throw does the same thing. Still a 6-5 lead for Hopkinton with just under 4 minutes left here in the first quarter. Hopkinton with a lot of ball movement to try to free something up offensively. Ball gets into Gogolin. She hits the inside shot, and a timeout called by Westwood.
Good job by Gogolin. Snuck down the baseline, just awaited the pass. Very good ball distribution by the Hillers throughout this game so far. And that's one of the main things that they've really improved on is ball movement, and you're just seeing them play better as a team in general, and that's why they've had so much success and why they were able to walk away with the Westwood Classic. Very impressive, especially when you got a first-year head coach. And Coach Greco has done a tremendous job with this team.
Absolutely. Got this team in position potentially to have a home playoff game, which is a big deal for any team.
There's quite a bit of competition in the TVL.
Yes, there is.
If you're looking at the standings, you got Westwood 19-2. They're in the postseason. Medfield 15-5. Hopkinton 14-5. Medway 13-7. Millis 12-8. Ashland 12-7. All those teams in the postseason. 6 out of the 10.
Wow, that is a talented division.
And it's always good to have a talented division like that, or a tough division. It gets you ready for the postseason games. Hopkinton played stiff competition all season long.
They will be ready when the postseason comes, that's for sure. Shot fired. Olivia Ware. She gets her own rebound and is fouled. Ware knew the ball was not going in and made a beeline straight for it. Got it and then drew the contact.
Carlson was hoping to get the little push off there, but unfortunately for her, Ware fell to the ground.
Ball circulating around the three-point line right now for Westwood, trying to get by Hopkinton's zone. Shagru thought about the three, gets it back. Again thinks about it. Nice ball movement from Westwood. Ware misses the shot, and then Hopkinton tosses the ball away. A turnover. No one was looking for that ball, and it rolls out of bounds.
Yeah, just miscommunication there.
Kaylin Harrington subs back into the game for Westwood. Moore in directing traffic for Westwood's offense. Harrington stuck baseline. Nice dish off to Ware. That ball bounces around, does not go in. Nice save from Ivy Gogolin. Gives it up to Carlson, and now Hopkinton will look to get something going. Oh, turned over, the steal by Westwood. Driving is Bonfiglio, she gives it up. Haley Connaughton with the fast break bucket. Hopkinton wasting no time. Keaveney launches a three, no good. Rebounded by Ware. 8-7 lead now with 2 minutes left for Hopkinton. Morin fires a three off the back rim, rebounded by Connaughton. Driving and taking the contact was Kaylin Harrington. No love from the refs on that one. Nothing called, and the ball goes out of bounds. Hopkinton takes over.
Yeah, that was a case of Harrington running into the defender there, and you're not often going to get that call too much. Good call by the official.
Canistari drives. Cannot finish. Rebounded by Ware. And here comes Connaughton. No one on her. She steps up, takes a three, rims out, rebounded by Welzell. Now Pucci tries to give it up to Regan Keaveney. She does. Keaveney spins and shoots, misses, and now rebounded by Bonfiglio. She dribbles it off the back of Welzell's foot and still recovers. Morin drives, scoops, Smith gets her own miss, tries to throw it back to her teammate, but throws it right to a Hopkinton player. Meanwhile, Welzell gets fouled on the other end by Bonfiglio.
Tim, I think both these teams need to slow it down a little bit. That's why there's so many turnovers. They're just trying to rush everything, rush down the floor, and it's not working. Slow it down, distribute the ball. The Hillers were having so much success at slowing it up early on in this quarter and getting the ball into the low post. And now they're getting off of what worked for them earlier on.
Under a minute left now in the first quarter. Lacacia with it, looking for help. She finds it. Morningstar drives the whole way, cannot finish. Canistari there for the offensive board, and she finishes. 10-7.
That's what happens when you take it slow, when you get the ball in the low post and you distribute.
Driving is Ware, the nice move, and one. Olivia Ware, the senior captain. A chance to tie this game up here at the free throw line. And she does. 30 seconds for the Hillers. About a 1 second difference in the shot clock, so they will have to shoot it. Morningstar takes it and drives, looking for help. Finds Lacacia. Lacacia wants a pick. Almost throws it away from Canistari. Nice pass from Canistari, finding Welzell open in the middle of the paint. She cannot cash in. And all alone was Carly Shagru, but she missed the open layup. 1 second left. Pucci tried to throw it backwards. Was blocked by Bonfiglio. So after the end of the first quarter, a 10-10 tie and a sloppy first quarter, to say the least.
Yeah, a little bit sloppy on both ends, really, and that quarter had a few glimpses of everything. And early on, the Hillers started off in a good situation. They were distributing the ball nicely, getting into the low post, and getting some good buckets. And then they started getting a little bit too quick at trying to distribute the ball. and they ended up getting thrown off their game, and they started missing their shots because they were trying to rush them. And that's where Westwood took advantage to get back into the game. But the Wolverines, they also had a few sloppy moments as well.
Right.
They were trying to rush at one point and creating a lot of turnovers. So it's really been a back-and-forth battle between these two so far. And I think this game, it's very possible this goes down to the wire. And I'll tell you what, this is the kind of competition you want going into the postseason. A game like this gets you ready for those teams that you're about to face, because it doesn't get any easier from here on out.
Right, absolutely.
And if the Hillers are lucky, they'll have 1 or 2 home games in the postseason, which could be nice. And winning here could determine, I mean, more than likely they're going to get 1, but winning here could determine if they're going to get 2. Granted, they get through round 1.
Right. That would be a huge boost for this team. In addition to looking for potential seeding opportunities, Hopkinton also looking for revenge in this game. They lost their first meeting at Westwood, 64-48. Lost that one convincingly, although this game looks like it's playing to a little bit of a different tune. And a turnover there, yep. Backcourt violation.
Another thing the Hillers have to do, if they've had a few open shots in the paint, they need to hit those. You can't miss those shots.
Gogolin hands it off to Morningstar. Pass to Canastari. Canastari dribbles once, fires a 3. A bit too strong. Rebounded by Morin. Now she's on the break. 3 fired from Westwood. Kaylin Harrington knocks down the tray. And a travel called on Hopkinton, another turnover. Hopkinton applying a press right now. Westwood does get it into Morin. And she crosses half court. Almost stolen away there from Harrington. She recovers. Ball fired inside, but tapped away by Gogolin, corralled by Lakasia. Morningstar in the corner for 3, too strong. Rebounded by Connaughton. Now she's on the break. Gives it up to Shagru. But Shagru had nothing, so she reset the offense. Morin drives, left all alone. A nice baseline move from Allison Morin, the junior. Able to make this a 15-10 lead for Westwood, and a timeout called.
Good timeout by Coach Greco. You want to settle down your team before this game gets out of hand, as the Wolverines had a couple of big open opportunities. They took advantage of them there, and that's what this team will do. Westwood's going to, I think their offense is going to improve as this game goes on. That's typically how they've done throughout the season. They've started off slow in the first quarter, but then they really heat up as the game goes on. So you don't want to let this team get too far ahead. And while we have a moment, why don't we preview the game coming up after this a little bit. Hillers Westwood boys varsity basketball, and that is a must-win game for the Hopkinton Hillers. They're 9-10 on the season.
Winning in.
Yep, winning in. If you lose, you go home.
Yep.
And you're done for the season. And Westwood, they're going to be a tough battle. They're 15-6, so they're fighting for seeding as well.
Yeah, they're not an easy team to beat. I've seen them play before, and they've got solid defense, solid shooting. They're a really solid team. It'll be a big test for the Hopkinton boys here tonight, especially with the added pressure of getting that 10th win.
Right.
Canastari travels at the three-point line. Another turnover for the Hillers. Olivia Ware subs back in for the Wolverines. Connaughton throws inside to Ware. A nice play, and she makes the layup. Now 17-10 lead for Westwood. Morningstar drives. Was about to dish it off, and a foul called. Morningstar will inbound under Westwood's hoop. Canistari drives, throws up the shot, off the front rim. Gogolin gets in there in the offensive glass and one. Great play from the sophomore Ivy Gogolin, able to crash the offensive glass, take the big hit, and knock down the shot.
And Gogolin, she's been a great supplemental player to this team, and she has come through at some moments when you really need someone to come through. She's been there, and that was a great play there.
She'll look to make it an old-fashioned three-point play. She cannot, off the side of the rim. Now Westwood bringing it down the court. Ball rotating well for Westwood. A nice drive from Kaylin Harrington. The nice look off at the end to fake out the last defender. Makes it a 19-12 game. Ball pass inside to Gogolin, tipped out by Ware. Still Hopkinton ball. Bonfiglio subs back in, replacing Connaughton for Westwood. Pucci trying to drive baseline, not much space there, and she runs into the end line. Another turnover for Hopkinton.
Looked like she might have dribbled off her foot.
Shagru almost loses the ball, throws it over to Bonfiglio, fires a three, no good. Pucci trying to make something happen, an ill-advised pass, and then another ill-advised pass from Westwood. Bonfiglio, who had just stolen it, tried to hit Carly Shagru, who was wide open, put a little too much on that, and 2 turnovers in a row. Now Hopkinton will look to close the gap in the 7-point deficit.
It was a good look. If you hit that pass, you got Shagru wide open in the paint.
Morningstar trying to drive, gets picked by Bonfiglio. She cannot finish on the other end, try to take it the whole way. Westwood does retain possession. Last off a Hiller player.
Bonfiglio went right around the attempted pick and roll by the Hillers and just stole that one away.
Ware with the nice bounce pass right back to the inbound passer. Great play from Ware to Bonfiglio. Pucci trying to drive, forces the issue a little bit too much. Now Bonfiglio with it again. She drives the whole way and lays it up again. A timeout by Coach Greco, now a 23-12 lead. Since the end of the first quarter, they've been outscored 13-2.
Now I see why this Westwood team's 19-2. They're smart.
Right.
They are reading this Hillers offense, and every attempt at a pick and roll, every attempt to get in the low post, Westwood's just shutting it down. And that's why they are off to this lead right now. And the Hillers, I mean, they needed this timeout. They have to talk strategy because right now Westwood is reading everything that they're doing. But, of course, another huge flaw of the Hillers is they just simply aren't hitting their shots.
Like you said before about the Hillers trying to slow things down and be quick but not hurry, they are exactly what they are doing is hurrying those last few possessions. Pucci trying that last shot down on the offensive end. She kind of took the ball and just ran, put her head down and ran right in without really taking the time to develop a good shot. And that's when you're down 11 points, you can't erase that lead with one shot. So you have to take it possession by possession, and Hopkinton's not really doing that right now.
Yeah, what you really need is you need someone to heat up from beyond the perimeter.
Corby brings it up after the timeout. Gogolin wants it, she's posting up. Nice pass from Keaveney. Gogolin takes the off-balance shot, almost goes in.
That's when you have to hit.
3 from Harrington, she cannot get it. Shagru rebounds it. Bonfiglio had an open 3, tried to fire it inside. A Hiller got their hands on it, knocked it out of bounds. Westwood will inbound.
That was smart by Morin, realizing that at the last second.
Morin throws it across to Shagru. She takes a second, launches the three. That one barely bounces out. Rebounded by Gogolin. Gogolin has it down low, pivots, taken away by Ware. I don't know if you call that a block or a steal, but
no, that's a flat-out steal. Just ripped it right out of her hands. Great job by Olivia Ware. She knew where Gogolin was going. She saw that little turn, and Ware said to herself, she's going for the turnaround jumper.
And she was
right out.
And then a foul called on the other end, down low. Westwood's ball still. Bonfiglio with it now at the three-point line, throws it into Ware. A bit off the mark and stolen by Hopkinton. Carlson for a second had Morningstar, but then Westwood recovered and stole that pass away. Still 23-12. Nice drive from Morin. Goes right through the Hopkinton defense. Gathers herself and puts in the layup, 25-12. Keaveney with a quick three. Rebounded by Gogolin. Now Corby thought about the three drives, throws up the floater, off the mark. Ware comes up with it. Morin open for three, gives it up to Ware. Shagru wide open, off the back rim. Ware recovers. Nice pass to Bonfiglio. Olivia Ware has had a huge impact on this game. And a blocking foul called on Bonfiglio. Kind of just got in the way of Morningstar, knocked her right to the ground. Looked a little worse than it was, I think, because Bonfiglio is so much bigger than Morningstar. Common blocking foul, though, and Bonfiglio takes a seat, as well as Morningstar.
Yeah, some incidental contact there.
Pucci inbounds. Seems like they are having a ton of trouble on these inbound plays. Another turnover there, stolen by Shagru. And Hopkins had left a wide open lane for Haley Connaughton. Lucky she did not make that layup, but Westwood crashes the offensive glass and gets fouled on their second opportunity.
What I don't understand is when Westwood's in the low post, why is there only two defenders there? The whole team should be rushing to the low post to get to that ball. Westwood is out-rebounding Hopkinton by a large margin. There's a tongue twister for you.
2-2 on that trip for Kaylin Harrington, the senior captain, making this a 29-12 deficit.
Been outscored in this quarter 19-2. It's been a rough one.
Not a good plus-minus. Firing the deep three was Marissa Prawl. She missed. Westwood grabbed the board and a timeout called by Coach Clifford.
Well, you have them, you might as well use them, and they're probably going to make some substitutions, and they know that more than likely they're going to go into the halftime locker room with a pretty comfortable lead, as they really played an outstanding second quarter.
Yes, they have. They must have heard us up here talking about them in the first quarter, and they had to prove to us why they were 19-2. Well, they certainly have.
I think that's the exact reason. With the Hillers, I mean, they're just they're not shooting well. They're not handling the ball well. They're not inbounding well.
Right.
And I think that describes you what's been happening in the second quarter.
It almost just seems like Westwood is ready for whatever Hopkinton has to throw at them. Inbound plays, they know what picks are coming. Offensively, like that play when Ware had that block steal on Gogolin, she knew exactly what Gogolin was going to do, and it seems like it's leaving Hopkinton all out of sorts. Meanwhile, Westwood has kept their composure after that first quarter tie, and now we see the result.
Well, that and Westwood allows himself to have a little space between the offender, too, because they know that the Hillers aren't shooting well, so they could have that little space and see if the shooter's going to turn around or not.
Morin throws it inside to Elizabeth Kelly, seeing her first action of the game. Ball tipped out by Hopkinton. Still Wolverine ball. Connaughton just barely getting that pass off. She gets it back, now fires it out to Shagru, who nails that three. Now 32-12, 20-point lead for Westwood.
8 points so far for Carly Shagru.
Carlson drives. Nice drive, cannot finish the shot, but Pucci working the offensive glass. Gets the and one.
Well, she broke about the 6-minute scoreless streak there.
And Pucci completes the three-point play. Minute 15 left in the first half. 17-point lead for Westwood. Morin drives, splits the defense, dishes it out. Connaughton with it, dishes it over to Shagru. She thought about the three, gives it up. Three fired and made by Kaylin Harrington.
They're just hitting anything they want.
Carlson drives. Again, a quick shot that she didn't necessarily have to take. Luckily, she got bailed out from the foul, but I don't think she would have made that if she didn't get fouled.
Yeah, she got lucky there. Well, if the Hillers want any chance of getting back into this game, it's going to be crucial to hit your free throws.
First one bounces out. Pucci crashing the glass, cannot finish on the second chance. And Connaughton brings it up. Harrington thought about the three. Ball goes inside to Shagru, and she walks.
Nice job by the Hillers there. Good low post defense. They had 3 players right in there and gave Westwood nowhere to go with it.
Pucci calling for the ball. She wants it. 15 seconds left in the first half. Shot clock off. Hopkinton can have the last shot. Prawl dribbles into trouble and was wrapped up by Connaughton. Luckily for Hopkinton, they still have a chance to end this half with points. Prawl shoots a quick open three. No good. Rebounded by Shagru. 6 seconds left for Westwood to get something. Connaughton fires up to Morin. Morin looks at the clock, fires a three. And that would have been a backbreaker off the side of the rim for Morin. Luckily for the Hillers, they go into halftime only down 20.
Well, you're going to have to make some changes heading into the second half, that's for sure. You got outscored in the second quarter, 25-5. A little rough to say the least, but Coach Greco and the Hillers, they've been good all season long, and maybe tonight they're just struggling a little bit, and I'm sure they're going to figure out some things in the locker room and get back in this game, but should be interesting. We'll have to wait and see.
Absolutely. 15 points for this Hopkinton Hiller team in the first half is a bit of an anomaly. They've been terrific all season. We both expect better in the second half.
Yeah, I can't imagine that the Hillers are going to underperform like they did in that second quarter. It's not very often you see that out of this team, and who knows, maybe they're a little tired from winning the Westboro tournament. That
right.
could be it too. But sometimes you just have those games where you struggle in the first half and you got to figure some things out, and maybe you're too far behind to get back into it, maybe you're not. Obviously still plenty of time on the clock, but they need to figure out things offensively, and they need to start hitting their shots, and that's what's going to be key to getting back into this game.
And we'll figure out if Hopkinton can close this deficit after we come back from the halftime break. And we are back to momentarily about to start the second half of this contest between Westwood and Hopkinton, although it's not looking like much of a contest right now. Hopkinton facing a 20-point deficit, down 35-15. And here in the start of the third quarter, Tom, they're definitely going to be looking to try to close down this gap.
Yeah, they certainly are, and they have to make a good amount of adjustments to do so, and they need to hit their shots. They really struggled shooting-wise in that first half. And as far as point totals, only 3 scores on the Hillers. Canestrari with 4, Pucci with 7, and Goglin with 4.
Usually they are much more spread out than that. That's surprising. Ball gets inside quick for Westwood down the post. Andrea Meinke, misses the shot. Now Hopkinton, Lakasia brings it up. Morningstar drives. Nice pass to Gogolin. Good idea, but tough execution. Lukashia saves it. Morningstar fires a three, and that is good.
That was a great save by Lukashia.
Shot fired from Morin. Missed, rebounded by Pucci. Now Canistrari with it. Nice spin move. Canistrari finds herself open for the shot. A bit too far under the rim. She missed it. Driving the whole way was Meinke. She missed the shot. Now Lukashia with it. Gogolin gets down low, throws up the shot. Good defense. Gogolin gets her rebound. Her own rebound, excuse me. Now off to Pucci. Pucci trying to throw it up inside. She does, but a foul called.
Good hook shot there by Pucci. Defender in front of her and got that shot off, was able to drop the foul. Well, we have a moment. We'll go over the Westwood first half scoring totals. Carly Chagru had 8. Allison Morin with 4. Haley Connaughton with 2. Christina Bonfiglio with 6. Kaylin Harrington with 10. And Olivia Ware with 5.
Pucci misses the second, rebounded by Canistrari. She tries to throw it up. Cannot. A quick 4-0 run for Hopkinton already to start this third quarter. Morin hesitates and drives, kicks it off to Bonfiglio. She fires a three, no good, but wide open, crashing the boards is Carly Chagru. Absolutely no one there for Hopkinton to even think about getting that rebound, much less stop Chagru from getting a wide open layup. Lukashia loses the ball, bounces off of her knee, and a turnover for Hopkinton.
The only way you're going to win the rebound battle against this Westwood team is to swarm the low post. Even if they're shooting from outside the perimeter, you have to have 2 or 3 players in the low post.
And in that last possession, there were 0 players in the low post, which allowed Chagru to walk right in there, take her time with that layup. Again, finding herself in the low post, Andrea Meinke. She cannot finish, but a decent opportunity nonetheless. Now Canistrari down at the other end. She finds the bucket, 37-21, Westwood. Chagru, the nice stop and dish to Kaylin Harrington, who was cutting. Great play by Chagru to recognize what she had. Then she commits the foul on the other end. Pucci drawing the contact. Now Keaveney subs in.
Some of the shots that Kaylin Harrington and Olivia Ware are making are very impressive. A few great underhand shots.
Lukashia calling out for a pick, finally gets it. Had an opportunity to drive the whole way. She was not looking and gave it up. Luckily for her, Pucci is able to draw a foul, and she will be shooting 2.
Kayla Pucci, the leading scorer for the Hillers tonight with 8 points. Make that 9.
Haley Connaughton subs back in for Westwood, replacing Allison Morin. Pucci 1 of 2 on that trip again from the free throw line. Hopkinton 2 of 4 to start this third quarter. And a travel called on Harrington. Turnover Westwood. Five minutes left in the third quarter. 39-22 lead for Westwood. Lukashia drives and throws that one up and in. Make that 39-24. Now only a 15-point lead for Westwood. Started this half with a 20-point lead.
That was a good job by Lukashia, taking it right down the lane, finding open space. Nice path right to the bucket.
Keaveney gets her hands on that, knocks it out. However, Bonfiglio grabs it. Driving Connaughton, too strong on that shot. Keaveney rebounds. Gives it up to Morningstar. She drives, has the ball taken away. Loose ball still, kicked out of bounds, awarded to Westwood. Harrington with it for the Wolverines. She brings it up. Shagru finds herself open for three. Bounces out. Gogolin rebounds, but stolen away by Harrington. And she drives baseline for the lay-in. Keaveney inside to Gogolin. Gogolin turns, fires the shot. Misses. Ball tipped out of bounds. Last touch by a Wolverine. Now Corby subs in, replacing Lacacia. Morningstar setting things up for the Hillers. Drives, gives it off to Gogolin. Gogolin didn't look like she was expecting that. Bounced right off her hands. Now Bonfiglio driving, hits Shagru. Nice pass, but Shagru cannot finish. Bonfiglio recovers, fires her own shot, misses. Shagru gets in there, tips it around, but recovered by Corby. Gogolin has it. Dishes it off to Pucci. Pucci down low. Kick ball. Nice defense from Bonfiglio to stop that pass from going through to the other side.
Well, it was a good move by Pucci. That looked intentional there, and that's the way to do it when you don't really have anywhere to go with it.
Gogolin takes a rest. Kate Welzell subs back in. Pucci having trouble getting that ball in. And a quick foul called on Christina Bonfiglio. Hopkinton will inbound. Again, all night, the Hillers having trouble getting the ball in, forced to throw it in tough spots. Great play by Olivia Ware. The captain was ready for that pass. She knew the Hiller player was in trouble, knew she was looking to bail herself out with a pass, got her hands on it, knocked it out. And another backcourt violation for Hopkinton. Corby fires that pass to no one, and it results in a turnover for Hopkinton.
That was a miscommunication. She was looking for the give and go there, and Giovanni wasn't ready for it.
Morin back in for Westwood, taking over as point guard. Pass inside to Ware. Gathers herself and fires the hook. Nice shot from Ware, the captain. Now the lead back to 19. And Keaveney fouled, taking the shot. She will shoot two. Sorry about that. 5 fouls already for Westwood here in this third quarter.
That's good. Get them into foul trouble early, and you got to take advantage of it this time. That's what happened in the first half, except they didn't get into the and one until late in the second quarter.
And Regan goes 2 for 2 on that trip. 43-26, Westwood leads. Morin gets it inside. Shot fired by Meinke. She misses, ball goes out of bounds. Westwood retains. Pucci and Morningstar are taking a break. Morin had Canistrari on skates right there. Gives it up, and driving is Carly Shagru. 2 more points for her. Canistrari looking for help. Gets her dribble back. And again, a foul called on that one, but Hopkinton players dribbling into trouble left and right. These Westwood defenders pouncing on them whenever they go into the lane.
Well, someone has to get open when she's in that situation, and they got to call out for it. These Westwood defenders have been swarming whoever has the ball all game long.
Gogolin drives, sets up a tough shot. Keaveney and Connaughton fighting, results in a jump ball. Hopkinton with possession. Corby with it, gives it up to Keaveney. She fires a three, and that is good. 45-29 now. 16-point lead for Westwood. Shagru finds more, and she fires a three, and that is a backbreaker for Hopkinton. Just when they feel like they can finally start getting something going, Morin answers with a three of her own.
And it's a 14-13 quarter in favor of the Hillers right now.
Canastrari drives. Nice move from Canastrari, able to cut through the defense and put that layup in. However, they need more than a 1-point advantage in this quarter if they want to make this close in the fourth quarter. They were down by 20 to start. Firing the three, Shagru off the mark, rebounded by Gogolin.
Well, they have to take advantage of these situations where they get a turnover.
Canastrari inside to Gogolin, tipped away by Meinke. Lucky for Hopkinton, they keep possession. Corby drives baseline, turned away. And as Canastrari tried to save it, she stepped out of bounds. Could have been a foul there on Westwood there. Elected not to call it, and Hopkinton turns it over.
Yeah, a little push there, not enough to call, and I like that these officials are letting them play.
Under a minute left now. Westwood up 17. Nice pass to Ware. She cannot finish. And then she steals it right back. Almost steals it back. Active hands from Ware. She's been everywhere defensively for this Westwood team. Seemingly knowing what the Hiller players are going to do before they know it. Could not come up with a steal on that one, and that results in Canastrari diving in for the layup.
Good job by Canastrari. She's starting to heat up from the low post.
Morin finds herself wide open, cuts right through the Hopkinton defense. Alone at the rim, makes the layup. Three fire from Canastrari off the mark. Save. Welzell tries to save it. Westwood ball.
And Allison Morin has been doing that all game long, responding right after the Hillers hit a bucket. And it has really kept the momentum from going too much towards the Hillers.
3 seconds left. Connaughton doesn't really notice. She tried to pass the ball up, and that ends the third quarter. No shot fired there. That ends the third quarter. 50-33 lead for Westwood. Hopkinton was only able to erase 3 points off that 20-point deficit.
Well, that was a much better quarter for the Hillers than the second quarter was, that's
right.
for sure.
If they'd done that, they wouldn't be in this situation.
Right, an 18-15 quarter there. In the fourth quarter, you're really going to have to come through and totally shut down Westwood, and it's going to make things tough for you. But that was just a much better performance for the Hillers. And even if you don't come away with this game, if you can stick with a team like Westwood and you can make this a game, that's going to get you ready going into the postseason, because you're going to be playing teams like this every single round that are just as good, if not better, than Westwood.
Right. It'll give them a ton of confidence, especially considering, like we've been saying, that horrible second quarter. That third quarter, looked like two evenly matched teams in this game. You wouldn't know it based off the score, but that third quarter, I think, will be something to build on. Like you said, especially even if they can't get this win.
Right, and I liked what I saw out of Julia Canastrari. She really struggled in the low post in the first half, missed a lot of open opportunities. That third quarter, though, she was great. Took advantage of every time she got the ball into the low post. She was putting it in the bucket, and they need her to do that. She needs to be one of the key scorers on this team, and when you have her only scoring 4 points and a half, that's not going to do you any good.
Fourth quarter about to start. Westwood with possession, up 17. Westwood moving the ball around more and finds himself open for three. Launches, knocks it down. Allison Morin has been on fire for this Westwood team.
Yeah, she's lighting it up.
Carlson drives, throws up the shot. Good defense by Ware, standing straight up, not drawing the foul.
Morin has 12 points total on the night. 8 of those are in the second half.
Shagru thought about the three, faked out Canistrari. Morin left open again.
Oh boy.
Off the front of the rim. That would have been a huge backbreaker. Luckily, Hopkinton able to control it. Carlson with it.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust leaving her open. Fortunately, that time it didn't do you any damage, but
Right. Westwood inbounding after the ball went out of bounds. Ball in the hands of Morin. Looking for the pick from Ware. Finds Shagru wide open again. Shagru faking, taking a step and launching. Misses. Rebounded by Pucci. Lakashi gets it inside to Gogolin. Gogolin turns and fires without really looking at the hoop. A bit short. Now Westwood controls it.
2 defenders right there. She had no shot there. Should have passed it around.
Westwood moving the ball. Lakashi steals it away. Thought about firing it down to a cutter, but a bit too many Westwood hands there. Now Lakashi with it again. This Westwood defense is swarming every time Lakashi picks up the ball. Looks like there's no options for her. However, Gogolin finds herself open in the paint. Makes another layup.
Good ball movement there by the Hillers.
Bonfiglio thought about firing the three, faked. They realized they got these Hopkinton players running hard every time at the three-point line. Ware with a loose ball. And timeout. Ware able to control it, and a timeout called by Coach Clifford.
Yeah, smart timeout. Keep it in your possession. Don't even risk the jump ball call. And keep momentum on your side. Don't let the Hillers get that turnover and get another bucket, because then you're starting to look at maybe a little bit of a comeback. But this second half, it's so far been miles different for the Hillers than first half was. But they're starting off a little slow in this fourth quarter. 2 points in 2 minutes and 11 seconds. Not really what you're aiming for here at this stage of the game.
A little bit too big of a deficit to score at that clip. Still down 18 points, down 53-35. And this fourth quarter, like you said, they've started off a little bit slow. Just got a layup down there from Gogolin. But they're gonna need to start picking up the pace here.
Yeah, they certainly will. And the Hillers, they're already in the playoffs, 14-5 on the season. They clinched a spot, but this game could very well be for seeding. Could determine if you're more than likely going to have one home game, but it could determine if you're going to have two. With how strong the TVL has been, it could determine if you're going to have one.
Right. 4 seconds left on the shot clock. Morin dishes it out, firing the three. Bonfiglio, she knocks it down. Big shot for Westwood there, making this lead 21 points.
It's almost like they planned that. That was a perfect situation for Westwood. You waste clock and you get the three.
Pucci drives, throws up the shot. Good defense from Ware again. Standing straight up, challenging but not fouling. Again, like you said, Westwood will be looking to drain this shot clock as many times as they can on every possession. Down to 10 seconds already. Bonfiglio with it. She drives. Nice attempt, could not finish. Pucci gets the ball stripped. Bonfiglio steals it and finds her teammate, who goes straight to the basket. Harrington saw the open space in front of her, could have used a few more seconds, but ran right to the hoop and drew the contact.
Well, that's one of the strong parts of this Westwood game is they stick with the play no matter where it is, no matter what's happening. They have quick hands, and they're always aware of what's going on around them. And that just shows you how well this team is coached and how well they work together.
Harrington knocks down the first free throw. Knocks down the second, making it a 23-point game, excuse me.
Hey, just a quick reminder to everyone watching out there, Hillers boys up next. It's a must-win game for them to get into the postseason. They'll play Westwood right here after the girls are done.
Both these Westwood teams very talented this year.
Both these Hillers teams pretty talented too.
A three from Harrington, and Westwood just pouring it on at this point, now up 26, and a timeout called by Coach Greco.
Yeah, that's rough, and that's been one of the big differences in this game is Westwood can hit from beyond the perimeter, you can't. That's what's allowed them to get off to this lead, and they've really heated it up in the second half. Allison Morin pitched in for a couple of threes. Christina Bonfiglio pitched in, and now Kaylin Harrington. A lot of good shooters on this Westwood team, and look forward to seeing what kind of run they're going to go on at 19-2. They could very well be there towards the end of the tournament.
Absolutely. After the first quarter of this game, it was only 10-10, and Hopkinton's kind of kept in line with that pace, but Westwood has scored 51 points since then. Still with 4 minutes left in this game, they've really heated up, and just like you said, Hopkinton has not been able to answer the bell.
Yeah, they have. It's been impressive to watch this Westwood team play. And if the Hillers play like they did in that Westboro tournament, who knows what they could do in the postseason.
Right.
They could be there at the end of the tournament. There's certainly enough talent on this team.
Prawl drives, draws the foul. She will be shooting 2.
And we mentioned earlier that we have 6 teams on the girls' side from the TVL going to the tournament. If the Hillers win tonight, it'll also be 6 teams from the boys' side.
Strong TVL in both boys and girls.
Yeah, it really is, and it's a tough division. A lot of good teams, and really just about any sport.
Miss from Prawl in the second. A 25-point lead for Westwood now, up 61-36 with just under 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And barring some type of miracle run from Hopkinton right here, Westwood will improve to 20-2 and 16-0 in the TVL, which is remarkable. With all the talent that we've been talking about in this TVL, the fact that they haven't lost once is astounding.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. That is just a very tough feat to accomplish.
Wow, and then with shots like that, I'm not surprised Carly Shagru just throws one up and somehow it bounces in.
Seems like half the time, if they just huck it in the general direction of the bucket, they're going to get points.
And it looks like Keaveney got hit in the throat. She stopped playing and immediately bent down and grabbed her throat. She goes and takes a seat. I did not see what actually happened, but
yeah, it might have been the mouth. Yeah, it looks like the throat area.
Looks like she might have caught a stray arm.
Yeah, could have had the wind knocked out of her. It's been a pretty physical game between these two teams, that's for sure.
Yes, it has.
Especially this Westwood team. They're not afraid to get physical. They're not afraid to foul.
No, they are not.
And once again, the Hillers couldn't get them into foul trouble. They got those 5 fouls early on in the first half and in the second half, and no foul trouble, really.
Wow, I don't know how that one rolled out. Deep 3 from Stephanie McClure. Like Reggie said, they had those 5 fouls, I think, early in the third quarter, and now they only have 7.
Right. Hillers need to make them foul if, to get to the line. It might be too late in the game now, but when you have a team with 5 fouls in the first quarter, you really need to be more aggressive and make them foul you.
Foul down low is Elizabeth Kelly, the sophomore.
So Westwood's smart. It's not easy to get them to foul. They know when they're in trouble.
bench players in mostly from both teams. Shot fired from McClure, short, but rebounded by Olivia Morgan. She gets it back out to Connaughton. Inside, finding herself wide open but missing is Molly McDonald, and coming up with it, Hopkinton, Sarah Birchman. Rotating around the three-point line, tried to fire it inside to Bridget Markadant, stolen away. Now 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Hopkinton down big. And a foul called down low against the Hillers.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but Westwood, I believe, would be going to the Division I bracket.
I think you are right, yes.
And Hopkinton would be Division II.
Yes, 2, I believe, yep.
So Westwood could see some team. You could see on the boys' side at least, or even the girls' side.
Right.
You could see a Franklin-Westwood matchup or something like that. Brackets come out Friday. Very exciting.
I don't know if they have an opportunity to play Bishop Feehan. I think Bishop Feehan would be a Division I team, but those are the only 2 blemishes on Westwood's record this year. 2 losses to Bishop Feehan.
Oh, wow. Yeah, Bishop Feehan over in Attleboro, if I'm not mistaken. Well, at least you get some of the young players an opportunity to get in the game right now.
3 fired from Westwood and nailed. Stephanie McClure knocks it down. Makes this a 30-point lead for Westwood. Not at all what I expected coming out of that third quarter for Hopkinton, really. Westwood just started pouring it on from beyond the arc, and Hopkinton could not hit anything on their own, of their own.
Well, sometimes you just get a little too far behind and you can't quite get back into it. It's better to do it now than in the postseason.
Oh, yeah.
Get this out of your system. You had a rough game today, but you're still going to the postseason. You're going to have some good seeding. You're going to get a home game or 2.
The 2 extra players that were announced at the beginning of this game, Caroline Bean and Alex Finn, sub in for the first time. Just under a minute left. First free throw missed from Kate Hubner. Second one goes through. So Westwood will improve to 20-2 overall, 16-0 in the TVL. Meanwhile, Hopkinton will drop 12-6 in the TVL. Ball bouncing around. Markadon tried to grab it, could not. Missed shot from Westwood. Hubner gets her hands on that one. Somehow manages to throw it off a Westwood player. Lands out of bounds. This is the last regular season matchup for the Hillers. Next game will be postseason. Most likely here in Hopkinton.
Yeah, I'd imagine it'll be a team that's right at the 10-10 mark, 11-9 type of team. No matter who it is, it's going to be a good battle, I'll tell you that.
5 seconds left. Westwood trying to just dribble out, knocked out of bounds by Hopkinton. 4.5 seconds left. And Westwood will complete the season sweep of Hopkinton, winning the first game at Westwood 64-48, and winning this one 66-39. A devastating loss for Hopkinton right before the postseason, but the key words being right before, so they still have an opportunity to make this right.
Well, you get it out of your system now. You won't see Westwood in the postseason, so that's a plus.
Right, absolutely.
And you're going to more than likely have a home game or two. So you just pretty much throw this game in the garbage and you look forward and you look at those tapes that of the Westboro tournament and the last couple of weeks, because the Hillers have played really good basketball.
Yeah, yes, they
and
have.
I'm expecting them to do big things in this tournament and make it pretty deep. So it should be a lot of fun to watch them in the postseason.
So that does it here for us. Westwood winning big. Stick around. Next game in a few moments we have the Hopkinton boys versus the Westwood boys. Tom Nappy and Mike Prate will be doing that game for you.
Win or go home for the Hillers.
Right, big, huge game for them. So for Tom Nappy, I am Tim Hladek. Thanks for watching, guys.